So I know most of you have seen me use the Cascadia vehicle tent's rooftop tent quite a bit in my travels, but today I'm going to actually add another piece to it and set up the downstairs annex room to it. So I'm going to kind of show you guys how that setup works. So I went ahead and flipped the cover off of my rooftop tent, and now I'm going to remove this cover by sliding it out of the channel on the side of the rooftop tent. I like to then roll the cover and stow it under my vehicle. The Annex I keep stowed away nicely in its own stuff sack. So next, I'm going to pull this out of the bag and start to lay it out. I'm going to attach the Annex room to the rooftop tent, but using the same channel that the cover to the rooftop tent attached to. Once the Annex room is attached, I'm going to proceed with setting up the upper part of the rooftop tent just as I normally would. So here you can see that there's a zipper along the base of the canopy of the Mount Shasta tent, and there's also a zipper along the Annex. So my next step is to connect the two zippers. When you're preparing to attach the Annex, you want to make sure that the ladder is inside the footprint of the Annex. A little trick is you can use the toggle to attach the lower portion of the Annex to the upper portion to take a little tension off the zipper when you're getting it started. And another little tip I've figured out is once you get past the pan of the rooftop tent with the zipper, it's easier to zip it the rest of the way stepping inside of the rooftop tent. Again, using one of the toggles to support the weight of the Annex greatly facilitates making it easier to zip the Annex to the upper portion of the rooftop tent. Once everything's attached, you can begin staking out the skirt. So at this point, the Annex room is attached and staked down and ready for me to occupy. So let's take a look around it. You can see it has entry points on all three sides. So depending on the constraints of if you have trees, things like that you're up against, you can enter and exit on any of the three sides. I usually use the entrance on the far side, or the side that's the farthest out from the vehicle, just because it provides the most convenient access to the ladder. So let's take a look inside. So now I've got the bug screen tucked away and the door open, so I'm going to bring you guys inside and show you how roomy this is. So in my setup, I've got the ladder coming out pretty close to the door, and you can see the majority of the room is actually back here behind the ladder. There's about 8 feet, 7 or 8 feet this way, just perfect to set a cot in here and still have enough room for a little table, for a stove, and even possibly for a chair over there. So when weather's bad, this is a really nice feature to be able to have some extra room. And then when you're ready to go to sleep, just up the ladder and into the upper portion of the tent. The Annex room does come with a heavy duty, some kind of a neoprene type floor. It is heavy duty, and there is a guard to protect the ladder from puncturing this floor. The way I have it set up right now is I just have this little table and chair in here, my food box, little area to stand and dress, and the heater. But it could easily be configured. I could put a cot along back there if I had somebody else with me. There's plenty of room in here for 2 people to sit and visit, wait out a storm or something like that. So I wanted to do a quick wrap up on the Cascadia vehicle tent's rooftop tent with the Annex attached. So all in all, this system worked out really well for me. I stayed in it last night through some pretty severe weather. We had high winds, driving snow, and it provided really substantial shelter and protection. The annex room is really nice to give some supplemental space, especially in this case during severe weather, when it was really nice to have an area where I could cook and sit and relax, organize my gear, things like that. It also is enough extra space where you could set up a cot and have a second person sleeping down in the area below. Or in the example of maybe a family with children, husband and wife in the loft area in the rooftop tent, and kids set up on cots down in the annex area. I'll keep you guys posted how it holds up, how it wears, and how it works over time. But so far, this system is working really well for me.